Hello all of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Guys, you can hear me? Hello. Am I audible? My voice is clear? Okay. Good. Let's start. Can you see my screen? Okay. I can see new faces joining today. That day somebody else was there. If you're not attending session properly, you want to understand the topics. Okay, and I won't repeat the topics in this in whatever session. Okay, so guys, please attend the sessions. Okay, so last time if you remember, we did few questions where I showed you how to apply the policy inbound and outbound. Okay, oh good, I forgot to record. Okay, so guys, it was last if you remember last time, okay, say on Friday, because Saturday Sunday was weekend and Monday was due to Holi festival, we were not working. Okay, so I showed uh, how the implicit policies can be replaced by explicit policy. I showed you the difference between an implicit policy and explicit policy. I showed you how the traffic move on from high security to low security level. Why we give security level 50 for demilitarized zone? Okay, what's the reason for that? I'm not telling you have to just give 50 exactly. Can give anything which is lesser than LAN. So if your LAN is say 5, okay, you can reduce it here. Okay, don't make it 6 here. Because high to low, the traffic should go, but from low to high, the traffic should not go. That is the fundamental of ASA firewall. Okay. Later on, we'll be doing FTD also fire or threat defense. But I told you, try to understand some of the topics theoretically also. Like for example, how to configure DHCP, how to configure NAT, how to configure VLANs, how to configure Ether channel. Okay, and then we'll go for VPNs also between ESAs. So last time we did some questions there on my desktop. Okay. So some basic configuration, and then I did some questions also. I don't know where I kept that. Okay, ACAL. R3 should be able to ping, should be allowed to ping branch PC. Okay. So echo request was definitely allowed, but echo reply was denied because of the stateless behavior. So we did that. Then I bypassed the policy of implicit policy that my traffic from internal inside towards DMZ should be allowed only for OTT. That means they can't ping or they cannot send ping packet to servers. And I applied this for outbound. Okay. Just 1 minute. I'll just stop the sharing because I want to send something. So let's start firewall first. Okay. So what I'll do, I place my ASA here, ASA 1, 2, 3 behind, 4 behind, 5 behind, 6 behind. 3, 4 is PC, 5, 6 is server. Okay. So just to warm you up, we have a topology where I have taken one ASA adaptive security appliance with the licensed version. No doubt in industry today we are dealing with next generation firewalls and next generation IPS. But you won't believe, still there are companies who are using ASA. In fact, you see your CCIE exam, lab exam, there also you have ASAs. So it is not totally out of stock or it is not totally out from the industry. So I also started from ASA because I just want to warm you up and show you the topics so that certain topics you are aware of. Like, no doubt you have done your CCNA routing switching or CCNP routing switching or enterprise. So you must be aware of topics like DHCP, NAT, Ether channel, VLANs, okay, and many such topics. So what we'll do, we'll see how we can do these things on ASA. Once your concept is clear, how to make a policy, how to do VPN between two ASAs, site-to-site VPN, remote VPN, then you can handle any firewalls. Because see, my motto is like you should understand the concept. Concept should be clear. Okay. So in this scenario, if you see, if I draw some uh, shapes, make it more attractive, I will do it. So this is my internet. Okay, this is my internet. This is my demilitarized zone. These are my servers, and this is my LAN. So you can also see from the diagram the IP addressing, the subnets I have taken. Here my goal is I wanted to show you that how the first time when we configured, I showed them how to do the basic configuration, how to name those interfaces, how to set the security level to the interfaces, how to bring those interfaces up on ESA. Okay. Secondly, I wanted to show you or show what is the difference between implicit rule and explicit rule. Like for example, when we talk about security level, what is the significance of security level 0 and what is security level 100? Okay. What is the implicit rule that if the traffic is coming from security level 0 and going towards security level 100, it is implicit deny. Nothing is allowed from low level to high level. Everything is allowed from high level to low level. That means your LAN is not restricted from any kind of, no, they are not like last time also I gave you one example that my kids or my son is not restricted to go out. Anytime he can open the door and go out. But have you noticed that anytime an outsider can open the door and come in? No. Okay. Anytime an outsider can open your door and come in? No, that is not possible. But yes, any member, any family member staying inside the house, inside the apartment can open the door and go out. Not a big deal. So same way, if the traffic is coming from trusted area, that is LAN, and going towards untrusted area, that is WAN, that is on internet, then they are supposed to go out. Nobody is going to stop them because they are moving from high security level to low security level. But the same, but any traffic that is arriving from outside, that is untrusted, towards trusted, then 100% there should be some policy allowing those traffic to come in. Okay. Like example, somebody knocks your door or ring the bell. Then what happens? You open the door, but you open only the main door. You don't open the safety door. And then you try to find out, you stop him at the gate, you stop him at the door and try to find out who is this guy. So suppose there is a policy given to my family members. What is that policy? That if anyone come to take the reading of my pipeline gas with a proper ID card, to allow him to come in and go inside the kitchen. Now you see, you only think anybody from outside can go in somebody's house and go directly to the kitchen? Possible? Not possible. There is one more policy that I have given to my family member, that nowadays it is summer season, too much of heat. So yesterday only I gave one policy to my family. What was that policy? That there is a person of so and so person who is going to come for repairing of AC. So allow him to go to bedroom. Now you only think anybody, any outsider is having any authority like this kind of authority that he can come inside your house and go directly into your bedroom? Not possible. So actually the implicit rule, that is the default rule, says nobody can go to your kitchen, nobody can go to your bedroom directly. But yes, if I give a policy, if I tell, yes, this guy is important guy, if you don't go to bedroom, my bedroom AC will not work. So I need maintenance, I need some kind of cleaning. So this kind of policy is called what? Explicit policy, where I am allowing this guy to go into kitchen, I am allowing this guy to go into bedroom. In fact, I'm allowing a plumber to go inside the bathroom also. So yes, these are all policy that you apply. Now, when you're applying a policy, where you're applying, that is also important. So normally in ASA, what happened? You have studied in ACL, that is access list. Remember, ASA belongs to Cisco. Router also belongs to Cisco. So when they manufactured router, the beginning, they came out with a tool called access list for packet filtering. So if I am designing an access list, I have to apply it on an interface. In ASA, when I apply this policy on an interface, this access list in the form of access group, when I apply it, in ASA, it is either inbound or outbound. Same, like in router also, you have inbound and outbound. Out direction or in direction. But here, there is one more term called input traffic. So I always say, I'm facing my ASA towards internet. You see, my ASA is facing R1 or internet. So for him, the traffic is what? Input, incoming traffic, input. And I apply it on the interface easy. Like for example, I want R7. If you see, R7 is my branch user. Want to access any of the service for any services. So I will apply it on E0 because the traffic is going to come from E0 and then it will go down to R5 and R6. Yes, I can also apply it on DMZ outbound instead of E0. But then in that case, he can come in. You need to allow this traffic to come in and go on the LAN. So if you are allowing this guy to go in the LAN, then also the policy has to be there. If you are allowing this guy to go into DMZ, then also policy has to be there. Because see, ultimately, the traffic is coming from low security level and going towards high security level. So it becomes mandatory that you should have a policy. I told you some basic points regarding some of the firewalls. Like ASA, you can ping ASA from anywhere. Now, why I'm stressing on this point is some of the firewall don't allow ping to themselves. Okay. Like suppose you go and there you have seen in Mumbai there are a lot of celebrities staying there. Their bungalows. So one of the celebrities is Shah Rukh Khan, and he's having his bungalow in Bandra. Now what happened? Now people always go there to take a snapshot or to take a glimpse of this guy. They can, if they are lucky, they can see him. But at least when they come to Mumbai as a tourist, or when they visit that particular area, they always go there and take a visit. And many times they are taking selfies. Now we have a trend of taking selfies. So you won't believe, this is my bungalow and these guys are standing here and taking selfie. Nobody stopped them. Nobody stopped them. So my essay also is telling that anytime if you want to come and ping me, I will reply. I won't stop. But in case of other firewall, let's say example checkpoint. Checkpoint say no, you can't ping me. You're not supposed to ping me. Because he thinks that is also an attack. So if somebody comes near the bungalow gate and take a selfie, they fear. No, this will be an attack. No, don't take selfie, get lost. But no, my essay is like Shah Rukh Khan's bungalow, who is allowing people to take a selfie. Now, one of the fan tried to enter and take a selfie from bedroom. What do you think? Can you do that? One of the fan, instead of standing here near the gate, is coming here into the bedroom and taking selfie. Now that is not allowed. Because the security guard here will throw him out. Can take selfie here. But he says, no, I want to take selfie from the bedroom. Shah Rukh Khan's bedroom selfie. And he will throw him out. Or I will enter into the bungalow and take a selfie near the what bedroom door. I won't enter the bedroom. Not allowed. So initially you can ping this interface. What about R3? Yes, he can also ping this interface. What about R5? Yes, he can also ping this interface. Fellow can ping, this fellow can ping, this fellow can ping. But R3 cannot ping like that. R7 cannot ping like that. Or R7 cannot ping like that. No. These kind of pings are not allowed. Like this. Clear? Just some basic information or point to be. Now you must be thinking why it is Ethernet when today we have gig ports. So remember in EVNG, see I'm having physical firewall also. I can show you later on. Those firewalls carry gig ports and they are licensed also. Okay, not a big deal. But if you see this setup, this setup is in EVNG and it's a good setup. You can do it at home also. That is why I'm showing you this setup also. And you can practice. Only difference is instead of gig port, it is Ethernet port. Why? Because we used to have licensing in our old ASAs. Which licenses? VPN Plus license. This license, because of this license, we can do VLANs, we can failover, we can do cluster, we can do any connect. Everything we can do it with this license. So just because this license allow me to do everything, I'm taking this ASA. But suppose I want to do only active standby, that's all. Then I can use the new ASA image also, which will be like gig mode. Okay. So we already finished some of the basic policies where I showed how to communicate, how to filter the traffic, how to allow the traffic from R7 to server 1 or 2 or 3. Okay. But now the case is Suppose, example, you have 5 users. Okay, how many users? 5 users. It can be LAN users, it can be branch users, any users. And suppose in your demilitarized zone, you have 5 servers. Remember, 5 servers with different capabilities, not the same. Okay, it might be a call manager, DSCP server, NTP server, web server, different server with different services. And you have 5 different services to be allowed. So I'm talking about 5 users who's trying to access 5 servers, 5 different servers with 5 different services. Each one, for example, one user, one server, one service. One user, same user, second server, second service, like that. So what do you think? How many access list I'm going to make for this to work? Can anyone tell me? 5 users, 5 servers, 5 different services. How many ACLs I'm going to make on my ASA to achieve this? 5 branch users, huh? So I need to make a policy. Come on, guys, be interactive. Mujahid, Mangesh, or Magesh, Nahid. No one? Think. How many access list statement you'll be having on this firewall to achieve this? I told you also, na? One user, one server, one service. One user, second server, second service, like that. You won't believe I need 125 access, 125 statement. 125. Can you imagine? So in order to resolve this issue, or in order to make this one possible, I remember, no, my mom used to work when we were very young. So all those who are like, working women, really creditable, because they have to do household work also, and then they go to office, and there also they work. So they have dual job to do. And what men do? They do 8-hour job, go home and demand for tea, coffee, relaxing, TV, watching TV, and all those stuff. But nowadays the culture is changing. Even men work in kitchen and do household work. Okay. Otherwise, the educated wife will kick them. So I remember that my mom used to make some masalas during the weekends. Now, what is the significance of these masalas or ingredients? So this is for making chicken, this is for making some vegetable, this is for making some gravy. It's a mixture of ginger, and then lot of other spices. We Indians use lot of spices. So we have ginger garlic paste, we have other stuff like chili. So I remember she used to make masala and she used to tag them. And then she used to refrigerate it. Now, why all these things to be done? because she wanted things to be handy early morning when she is leaving for job. She's to cook and then she's to leave. Cooking means making tiffin boxes for lunch, like making a tiffin box for me, my sister, for herself. So that time it used to be handy. She used to take this and directly prepare a vegetable. She used to take this and directly prepare a curry. She used to take this and directly prepare something to eat. But all these ingredients, she used to make it during the weekend time when she used to get some holiday or some time. Because on the actual day, like first day of the week, she don't have time to do all those stuff. So I'm just relating this exam with a topic called object grouping. Fire. What is this? Object grouping. So when I say object grouping, I can make an object of network. I can make a network object of protocol. I can make an object of services. And I can make an object of ICMP also, because this is also a suite of protocol, bunch of protocol. Good. Bakery got up now, I think, and started answering. But I'm happy you guys are participating. Okay, you should participate. So object grouping, and there are categories in object grouping. That is, I'm talking about a category called network, protocol, services, ICMP. Now, what you have to do? Just now I gave you an example that I want 5 users, 5 server, 5 services. So suppose if I want an object group where I want to add 5 users, because see, if I don't make a group, means I have to take individually each and every host in a single statement. That is why I told you, I have to make a 125 statements. How many statements? 125 statements. So I'm going to make object group of users. I gave you an example of 5 users. I can add 10 users. I can add users in sequence. I can add users in odd numbers, even numbers. But yes, I can make a group of users. Secondly, I can make a group of servers. Okay. I can make group of servers. So if I'm telling you, I want 5 users to access 5 servers for 5 different services, I will also make a group of protocols, because you never know, some services might be TCP based, some services might be UDP based. So I'm going to make a group of protocols. I'm going to make a group of services. Like you said, I said I need 5 services. You won't believe I can do this job in only one statement. Instead of having 125 statement in an access list, I can do this whole thing in one statement. I don't have to go on typing for every user, one server, one protocol, one service. Like same user, same protocol, same server, another service, or different protocol, different service. Not not needed. That is why I said no. You'll be doing 125 statements for that. Clear? So today we are going to resolve, or we are going to do this topic called object. So I hope you understood the theory part of the topic. And I also gave you example of my mother, that how she used to make, and it is not only my mother. Nowadays, all working women, they try to make things uh, uh, more easy, especially for cooking, and not for cooking also, for anything. Okay, because now there is a culture of both husband and wife working, so they need things to be done faster in the morning. We don't have that much time to do all those things and rush to office. So I gave you one example, layman example. Then I gave you one technical example where I told you that I'll be needing 5 users, 5 servers, and 5 services that belongs to different protocol or same protocol. I'm going to resolve it. So first, let me see whether this firewall is configured or not. Yes. Let me check if I can reach my perimeter router. Yes, R1 is my perimeter router. Let me see if I can reach WAN. Yes. Let me see if I can reach my branch PC. So you see my end-to-end reachability is there. My routing is up. Remember one thing, ASA is not going to give you reachability. ASA, that you have to do it in the beginning of it. That is why always when I started my session, I told you guys that if you are not aware of routers, if you are not aware of switches, if you are not aware of configuring or not aware of iOS designed by Cisco, then for you it will be very difficult. No doubt, we can do things in GUI also, but I suggest CLI is stable. If you understand things in CLI, definitely you can do it with GUI also. To make this, to understand the concept, CLI is more better. But later on in the industry, you will go and do in GUI only. But for doing GUI also, you should know the topic. You should know the trick. You should know the steps. Clear? So in this scenario, if you see, we have 2 servers. And suppose we are having 2 users. We are assuming we have 5 users or 2 users, whatever. We don't need that much servers or that much users. I will show you how to manage this. So my end-to-end reachability is there. I can also reach my LAN. I can also reach my another. Okay. So I'm now going to make object group. If I put a question mark, I can make a group of network protocol. Nowadays, they added some security, service. Service was there earlier, user. Now, basically, groups are made of, if I'm talking about 5 users, if I'm talking about 5 servers, actually servers means some IP address. Users also means IP address. So if I want to make a group of user or object group user, I have to go with the category called network. So I am making a category of network or object group network for making or for adding users. But what should I use? So I say I am going to make a, a object group of branch users. This is just a name. Because see, if a housewife is making some masalas or you can some spices, she will always tag it. Tagging is important. If you don't tag it, you will mix wrong ingredients with wrong. Like we'll add something in some other stuff. That is why when when we have the kitchen, you see those things are being tagged: salt, sugar, okay, black pepper powder, like that. So same way, I'm going to use one name like branch users. So when I use a branch user name, then he's asking me, okay, come on, space. You can give the description also. These are my Dubai branch. Okay. Then the word is what? Network object. And then I can specify the host. I can specify, okay, I'm having branch users with this IP address, IP address, IP address, this IP address, and this IP. So I said I'll be having 5 branch users. Two, three, four, five, six. Next is I can also make LAN users. Huh? Just remember, whatever name you keep, you have to remember. So I can keep a description that these are my Mumbai branch users. Mumbai LAN users. I'll make a network object of 192.168.10.2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when I say show run or when I say show run object group, I can see I have created 2 objects. Okay. Now I'll make servers. Description. These are my public servers or these are my private servers. 10.1.1.2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So run. So you see, I'm just creating object groups for particular users. It can be odd, it can be even. You can also create a network instead of host. That is also possible. You want whole network to be allowed, then you can go and say 192.168.10.0 and subnet mask. The whole network will be allowed. And remember one thing, you can later on also go and edit this object group. It's not mandatory that once you make this object group and apply it to the access list, you can't go and touch it. No. Editing is very easy in this case. It becomes very easy. So how many groups I made? I made branch users group, I made Mumbai users group, I made servers. Now I'm going to make an object group of protocol. So if I'm okay, so I always use protocols, some name. Object group name is protocol. Okay. Object group name is what? Protocol, and sorry, object group category is protocol. The name is protocols. You can give anything, ABC also. Okay. Now the word is what? Protocol object. You can also give description, or you can skip it, not a big deal. So I said my protocol object, like I want only TCP now, because all my services belong to TCP. So I don't want to add TCP, UDP, but you can club TCP, UDP. You can also take routing protocols like EIGRP, ICMP. ICMP itself is having a separate object. EIGRP, ESP, AH, they are all IPsec protocols. ESP, AH, and all those. Next is object group service. So what I'll do, I'll keep the name as what? Services, TCP, and UDP. Or I don't want for both. I want only for TCP. TCP services, because I have taken only protocol TCP, so I'll be using TCP services. Then the port object would be what? Equal to, suppose I want HTTP, I want 443, I want FTP, I want Telnet, I want NTP. Or if you don't remember all those things, you can do it what? You can just range, and you know the range start from, suppose I can say from 1 to 10 port number range. So what will happen? All the ports, all the services will be allowed from 1 to 1023. You want only 100 of services should be allowed. So 1 to 100. You can give a range. But now here I just specified few things. 1 minute, I'll drink water. Okay. So when I say show run access list, I'm having some access list for this user to come in. I'll do one thing, I'll remove this. But I'll remove this also into DMZ. When I remove the access list, my access group is also automatically removed. So now I'll start configuring that 125 access list. No, I will just configure only one access list. So normally when you create access list, what you do? You can also give name. Okay. So I say access list and then give some name. Say out to in. Extended. Permit. Now instead of specifying TCP, I'll go and specify the object group. Protocols. You remember I made a group of protocols where I have taken TCP. So your name should be always correct. Suppose you're not giving proper name, and if you go here and put a question mark, you see showing nothing. Can't type anything else. So I'm going to make it proper, and when you put a question mark, you see now he's giving me options. So what I did as per the access list, extended access list, first you have to give the name, named access list on ASA. Then whether it is a standard access list or extended access list, then the term is what permit or deny, object group protocols. And then I say object group source. Who is the source? Branch underscore. What is the destination? Object group servers. Sorry. And what about the service? Object group services. So when I say show run access list, I can see only one statement. Then I say access group out dash in interface outside. So when I say show run access list, but when I say show access list, see how many? 125. I never did this. See, user 10.2 going to 10.2, 5 statement. Again 10.2 going to 10.3, 5 statement. Again same user going for 4, same user going for 5, and same user going for 6. Then next user going for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Let's see. Now I open my branch PC. You all must be aware the IP address of this branch. But before that, what I'll do, I'll check my telnet, everything is there or not. They can reach their gateway. I'll do what? I'll telnet this guy. Oh. So when I go here and say show access list, you can see I got one hit for telnet. Same guy doing what? XPT. You can see I got a hit here. Now what? I change my IP address of this user. I make it and then I do. So this time you see my access list will show hit to another server from another user. Who is the user? 10.3 server is also different. Okay. Now for some reason I don't want this 10.3 should access www. So what I'll do? I'll go here. Or I don't want this user to do any access. So I go here, branch user. Remove this. Now you see. I've not changed any access list. I've just gone into the object group and change or remove that user. Clear? If I want it back, I can go and add it. Clear, guys? Topic, object group. Understood what is object group? Now, you see, I have put two interfaces on ASA, that is E2 and E3. I'm having lot of interfaces. Okay. Spare. So I just made two interfaces here. Now there is a topic or there is a term called redundant interface. I'm not talking about ether channel. I'm talking about redundant interface. Redundant interface means I am going to club these two interface and make one logical interface. So what is the advantage in case if one of the interface goes, see, this interface is very crucial because it is going towards server. Server means business. It's a public server. You want people should visit the server. Selling, purchasing, everything can be done through this server. So you want this server to remain always up. You don't want ASA to fail for some reason, or these interfaces should not fail. So what you did redundant interface. So how it is possible? Simple. You have to take the two interfaces, like for example, in our case it is E2 and E3. See, E2 and E3. Now, at present, you must be having IP address on E2 or E3. Let me just check it. Okay. So I need to go here and say interface E2, no IP address, no security level, and no shut. Then I'll go to interface E3. Okay, no IP address, no name if, and no security level. So you see E2, E3, I need to specify no name if also. Okay. And then I'll create what? A redundant interface. How many redundant? I can create 8. And every redundant interface can carry 2 links. So I created a redundant interface number 1. Okay. And then I say member interface. Okay. Member interface should not, sorry, E0 is not my E2. So when I said in this redundant interface, my member interface is E2 and E3. He cleared the configuration from E2 and E3. Because see, you cannot have configuration on physical also and redundant also. You should have, because see, this is your redundant interface as per the diagram. Okay, so I am going to make a redundant interface like this with E2 and E3. And this is my redundant interface. So my redundant interface is bundled with 2 interfaces, physical interface, E2 and E3. Now you must be thinking, okay, and then I will give what? IP address. Everything what you give. Okay, see this. So when I say show interface IP brief, I can see E2 and E3 is, see E3 is still not up. Huh? I need to say no show. E2 and E3 is up. When I say show run, when I say show interface E2, you can see this guy has become what active member of the redundant. That means you have a bundle or you have a redundant interface. In this, the first one which you advertised was E2. So he became master or active. Because see here we are not doing load balance. It is different from ether channel bundle. In ether channel bundle, we do load balance. It's not load balance. This we are doing is what redundant interface. And in redundant interface, only one link will be active, another link will be what in a standby state. How you know? You can go and say show interface E3. So one is active and one is standby. One is active and one is standby. So now let's see. Suppose if R7 is trying to ping, but we have not added ping. So it is not necessary that you should always have only one statement in object grouping. You can also have a simple access list along with object grouping also. So I said ICMP from network 172.16.10.0, 5.2, 5.2, 5.2. Remember, we use subnet mask, not wildcard mask. To 10.1.1.0, 5.2, 5.2, 5.0. So when I say show run access group, out dash in is already allowed. So now I try to ping 10.1.1.2 and I repeat it for 10,000. So when I go here on show interface E2, I can see packets. Can you see? Why packets? Because he's active member. See, the packets are changing. Now it is 10,046 packets. But when I say show interface E3, it's only 2 packets because he is a standby member, not active member. Once again, I send 10,000 packets. If I go to E2, it's increasing. But when I go to E3, still 2 packets. That means who is serving this? The redundant link. E2 is serving the traffic and E3 is just a standby. Now, for some reason, E2 goes down. Do it for running traffic. You see, I shut down E2, still my packets are going without any problem. Who is giving this? Can you see? Earlier it was only 2 packets, now it is 6,217 and it will increase. Because now my active member is E3 and E2 is down. So see immediately without any drop. Can you see? Any drop. working fine. Success rate is 100%. So what was the topic? Redundant interface. Redundant interface, when you add interface, the first interface that you add become master. The second one becomes what? Standby. But later on, suppose you bring this back. And when you say show E2, now E is standby. See, both are of equal caliber. Both are gig. So if E2 becomes active, E3 becomes standby, it's okay. When E2 go down, E3 can also become active and E2 can become standby. Ultimate goal is I want the traffic should not get any discontinued. Discontinued means I don't want any thing to get stopped. I want my commercial servers to remain up continuously without any fault. So I'm going to make use of redundant interface. I can add two more interface also in that. One will be active, another will be in standby. And this kind of bundle, I can make 8 redundant interface. Clear, guys? I showed you something theory also. I told you what is the advantage of having redundant interface, what is the advantage of having object grouping. I hope you like the session, guys. Any queries you can ask me? Any queries? Jahid, thank you for appreciating. I think I went very slow. Make you understand what is the significance of object group, how redundant interface work, how you can make a bundle. Thank you, Mangesh. There are others. Bakery, where are you, man? Great. Nice, thank you. So what I'll do, I have already gave you the diagram. I'm using the same topology for many of the topics. Later on, I will change the for VPN. So what I'll do, I will bundle this command and give it to you for notes. Like for example, this is a very specific commands as per my topology. Whatever I did now, you saw how to see the command. This you can do it for any interface. It is not just for DMZ. You can do it for inside, you can do it for outside, you can do it for DMZ. Yeah. So what I'll do, I'll just save this and send it to you. Someone can just gather all this in a Word file and convert it into PDF. Be more helpful. I am also doing my lab guide. Okay. Yeah. So I will give you independent commands for independent topics. You can just paste it out and make a Word file. So when we started from basic, like what is the basic configuration. And I explained you what are the different modes. The EXE mode, privilege mode, common mode, everything. Okay. So no worries. I will definitely provide you with everything. Just be patient. Okay. Attend the session. Don't skip the session. Every time I can see new people joining, all the old people are not attending. Okay. Okay, Mujahid. Okay. Good. Thank you very much for your patience. Okay, I hope you like the session. I hope you understand my way of teaching, like, explanation, everything. Yeah, I always try to deliver. I always try to see that, you should understand things with concept. Your concept should be clear. Commands, you can get it on internet also, not a big deal. But commands not important. Why it is like that? Why it should be done like that on ESA? What is the advantages? And with the example of cooking. So girls may like that. Thank you. Okay. Take care, guys. We'll do it tomorrow. Okay. Bye. Take care. God bless you, all of you.